Hiya guys, you join us today. We're going to have a little look at the cars that I've got in Spain. I bought a couple of them over from the UK. One of them's already been matriculated over to Spanish plates. The other one's in the process of being done. You're also going to get to see my day-to-day car to start with. Then we move up a notch to a bit of a collector's car that I've got that's going to be a long-term investment. And then we're going to move up again. So make sure you stick around to the end of the show. And hopefully you're going to see some great footage, some great scenery. And on the next show, I'm hopefully going to get Sophie on to introduce you all. She might have already been on by the time you see this, depends on how long this video takes to edit. And then I'm going to show you another passion of mine, which is watch collecting. I have to go about an hour and a half away from where I live. My watches are kept in a vault because I don't wear them very often. At the moment I'm wearing a Duckworth Prestex, which is about sort of 600 or 700 quid's worth. Lovely watch, but I've got a big collection, but I have to keep them in a bank vault, obviously for safety reasons. So I am going to make a point of going and get them all out. They all need a wind up anyway and a little bit of movement because otherwise they start drying up. I'll bring them all back and then obviously I'll take them back that same day. But hopefully we're going to be able to show you some great videos and a bit of nice footage of the area. We're about an hour and a half away from my home at the moment, and hopefully you're going to enjoy today's show. But stick around to the end because the better car comes at the end. This is my day-to-day car. So it's basically a Peugeot 3008. It's a couple of years old now. I bought it when it was new. In fact, I bought it, it was pre-registered, and I ended up saving about 9,000 euros on it. It's a fairly easy drive. It's electric or petrol or both. So most of the time during the day, I can just drive it around in the electric mode. It's a great little car. As I say, I've only had it a couple of years, 2.5 years now. It's really economical unless the battery runs out, of course, and then it starts using the petrol motor to charge the battery. Then it starts sort of costing you loads of money in fuel. But this is my day-to-day car. This is the one that I go out, run Carter around, go out here, there and everywhere. Because as I say, it's a reliable car, doesn't really stand out too much, doesn't cost fortunes on fuel. And yeah, great little car to be fair. So that's my day-to-day one. Let's bring up the next one. So this one is the old 6.3. Well, it actually comes up as 6.2. They call it a C63. So it's a 6.3 litre V8. This particular model I bought over from the UK. I bought it up in Leeds. Great company that sold it to me. Not sure if they want me to mention it, but maybe that's for another time. Very, very low mileage. It's a 2011, so it's almost 14 years old now. It's only done, well, when I bought it, it had done 25,000 miles. It's had 12 Mercedes services when I bought it. So I've had it just over a year now. It's done 27,500 miles now because obviously I had to drive it from the UK to Spain. I've had another service done, so it's got 13 services, all from Mercedes-Benz. It's done about 27,500 miles now. It doesn't really move anymore. This car is purely for a little long-term investment. I like the car. It's got an awful lot of modifications on it, and I did have a little bit of trouble matriculating it over to Spanish plates. It took me about 6 months because I had to have, obviously you have to have your ITV done in Spain, which is basically the UK equivalent of an MOT. I'd done the MOT in the UK, so I had a year to matriculate it over to Spanish plates. It was insured in the UK and taxed in the UK until it come over here. Once the matriculation takes place, you can then put your Spanish plates on there. You then pay your taxes on your council tax, so your car tax is on your council tax. This particular car in the UK is about £790 a year in council tax. Cut that. £790 a year in car tax. Out in Spain, it's about 175 euros. So the net zero thing and the zero emissions thing is not quite crept in here yet. To insure the car's about 500 euros a year. In the UK, it was nearly 3 times that. As I say, this car's a bit of a keeper. It's not particularly clean, so you have to excuse it. It's had a little bit of a wash a few days ago, but where it sits about a little bit, it gathers a little bit of dust, and this colour really does show it up. But it's got a carbon fibre splitter at the front, carbon fibre wind mirrors, carbon fibre diffuser at the back. This is the 125 edition. So the 125 edition comes with a better sound system, comes with panoramic sunroof and everything else. But this is a real monster of a car. On a run, it does about 17 miles per gallon. Around town's about 8, so it is horrific. That's why it's only done about 250 miles in the last 6 months. Very, very rarely take it out. Sometimes I run Carter to school in it. It basically sits in the garage on a trickle charger all the time. And yeah, but this little beauty is a solid beast. The new 4 litre, they replaced this one with another C63, which was a 4 litre V8 twin turbo. They then replaced that. The new C63 is a 2 litre car. That's my thought process behind keeping this car, because I don't think they're ever going to make this type of car again. 6.3 litre V8, absolute monster of a car. But like I say, this has got lots and lots of extras on it. It's done very, very little mileage, and that's the way it's going to stay. I'm hoping it will still be under 30,000 miles in the next 5 years. You very rarely can find a car with less than 30,000 miles. I saw one the other day on Auto Trader. That was £47,995. That had 25,000 miles, so very similar mileage to this. I paid, I think it was 28 grand when I bought it. So I believe now this is already going up in value. It cost me, like I say, with a Mercedes service, with a year's tax and the insurance for a year, it cost me about £1,000, 1,200 euros a year to sit it down without it moving. Obviously start driving it around, that £1,000 rapidly goes up because it is seriously juicy. It's out of all of the cars I've ever had, I've had some really beautiful motors in the past. This one is the juiciest I've ever had. They are horrific on fuel, but the idea of this is for it to sit around most of the time. I'll probably put a full tank of fuel in there every 3 months. So it's not really too important to me about fuel economy. It's more of a long-term investment. And that is car number 2. So you've seen the Peugeot, that's my day-to-day. This is car number 2. So this is it. This is my latest addition to the car collection. It's a McLaren 600 LT. I bought it in the UK again. It's in the process of being matriculated onto Spanish plates. It went over to the ITV station the other day, which again is the MOT station in the UK, and flew through. I mean, they didn't even question it. It had no number plate on the front of the car. They didn't even question that. This particular model I bought from McLaren in Leeds from a guy called Richard Caldwell. He was a very, very helpful, went way beyond any car dealer. You have to excuse this at the moment. I wasn't really prepping for the video today, so it's filthy dirty. Again, it just sits in the garage most of the time and collects dust. This one had done around 6,000, low 6,000 miles when I got it. I think it was 6,100 miles when I got the car. Again, I had to drive it over to Spain. So I drove it from Leeds to my son and daughter's house in Essex. It stayed there for a couple of weeks while I went on the march in London. And then I collected it, drove it to Portsmouth. Portsmouth, we got on the ferry to Bilbao. That took about 36 hours to get there. Got off there about 7 o'clock in the morning, and then I had about an 8.5 hour drive down from Bilbao to Murcia. I didn't push it at all. It was a nice, steady, easy drive. The car drove beautifully. I mean, they're not known for comfort, these cars, especially this one. The 600 LT is basically a 600 brake horsepower. The LT stands for long tail. So the long tail version is slightly longer. in the sports series than the other ones. This particular car, I'll just close this down so you get a bit better view of it. Excuse the dirt on it. It is a little bit, even this is, it's got the soft closed doors. It's just one of the options that was put on it when it was new. This particular car, I've been told by McLaren, is the highest spec'd 600 LT in the world. It's got carbon packs 1, 2 and 3. A lot of the time you see them with carbon 1 and 2. It's got the ultra lightweight alloy wheels. Obviously they're carbon ceramic brakes. With the carbon packs 1 and 2 and 3, basically you get the carbon front splitter, which is complete carbon fibre. You get these wind mirrors, carbon fibre. With the pack 3, you get the, I think they call them the camtrails down the side. Again, that's all in carbon fibre, dusty carbon fibre, may I add. The complete roof is in carbon fibre. The side seals are carbon fibre, and the inserts are carbon fibre, with these bits are carbon fibre as well. The seal down the bottom is carbon fibre. And then you get towards the back. This is the only option that it hasn't got, but the reason it couldn't have this in carbon fibre is because the exhausts throw flames out of them. Quite literally throw flames out of them. They come out to about here when it's revving really hard and very hot. So the middle part of the rear spoiler has to be in ceramic, because otherwise it would just melt. So this part here is very different to the end sides of the actual tail. The rear of the car is complete carbon fibre as well, including these little side bits, which is all done for airflow. You've got great big diffusers at the bottom, which direct the wind and the air as it's going quite fast out away from the car, giving it a little bit more stability. Even this surround where the engine is all in carbon fibre. That is again part of the pack 3, I believe. The engine cover there can only be opened by McLaren allegedly, but it does only look like an Allen key, to be fair, but they only recommend that they open that. Again, that's carbon fibre. You can see there in the middle that there is the engine. You can see it through the mesh. That's a lovely little vision. I don't know whether it will show too well on the camera. The actual colour of this car is volcano orange, and as I understand it, that was about a £14,000 optional extra. The wheels, the ultralight alloys, were a 5,000 extra. Now these louvers here, they don't come on, I mean, out of the, I think there's about 18 of these for sale, 18 McLaren's coupes for sale in the UK. I think there's only 2 with these louvers, and the reason they don't have them in many cars, it was a £10,000 option, which I don't know. But basically the reason for these being in carbon fibre is the air in the tyre. When you're going very fast, underneath the car it creates lift, if that's not there. So the air again escapes through there, comes through the back, and this is, again, look, you can just actually put your hand right the way through that, which is crazy. It's got soft closed doors. It's got the Harman Kardon upgraded sound system. It's also got the full lip here, which is full carbon fibre to the end. That's an optional extra. The seats are called the Senna seats. They're very, very lightweight. It's got the carbon fibre surrounds on absolutely everything inside, and obviously the upgraded Harman Kardon sound system. So this is the Club Sport version as well. I'm not sure exactly what that gives you, but it gives you some extra bits as well. The car has done about 7,200 miles now, because obviously I had to drive it back from England to Spain. Again, this is an investment car. It's going to do very, very little mileage. With the Mercedes that I showed you just now, that cost me about €1,200 a year to keep. This thing's a different animal, unfortunately. The insurance on it is insanely high. The road tax is very similar to the Mercedes, but the insurance on it's about €4,000 a year. To have a service done every year, which it will need, because obviously it's had full service history since it was brand new, that's around €4,000 as well. And then you can have the optional warranty, which a good friend of mine who's a car dealer in the UK, a guy owns Safwat Cars. He basically said to me, don't ever own a McLaren without the extended warranty. It has to be the McLaren warranty. It's called a bumper-to-bumper warranty. Interestingly enough, it covers everything apart from the battery. And on a previous McLaren that I had a 570S. We'll pop a couple of pictures up on the video now. That had a problem with the battery, which I ended up having to replace. So I learnt my lesson with that. This car, as I say, to sit down without it moving, the other car cost me about £1,000 a year. This will end up being, I'm guessing, around £11,000 a year to have it sitting there without starting the engine. Fuel economy is not good, as you can imagine, in a track car. So basically this is a track focused car. Fuel economy is not very good. I suppose you get about 25 to the gallon on a run. Local, it'd be a lot less than that, but it's certainly a lot better than the C63 is. As far as performance, the 0 to 60 on these cars are 2.8 seconds with a top speed of 204 miles an hour. What that equates to in kilometres an hour, I'm not 100% sure. But it's not there to thrash and everything else. I'm having a secure unit built at a different location at the moment to store this and the C63 because they're going to be used at a very, very minimal amounts of time in the year. As I say, it's more of a collector's car. The car is, as I understand from McLaren directly, the highest spec 600 LT on the planet. So it's a great little investment piece, and fingers crossed in the future it will hold its value. Obviously, I think the list price when this was new was around £300,000. Now I would say it's probably about half of that. I've just bought it just under that. I've got various businesses in the UK which I'll bring up on another video. I've got some businesses in Spain, some businesses in the UK, and I just thought, you know, life's too short. A lot of people around me in the last year or so have passed away and got terminal illnesses and things, and you know, how long are we all here for? So do you know what? I don't drink. I very rarely drink. I very rarely gamble. If anything, probably about £5 a year. I do the lottery when it's a rollover, but that's about it. So I don't do drugs, I don't smoke. You know, this is my only vice, cars and watches. I'm a huge fan of McLaren. This is my second McLaren. In the past, I've had 3 Lamborghinis, 3 Ferraris, 2 Porsches, and this being the second McLaren. So I've been into this type of car for years and years and years. It's been a massive passion of mine. As I say, we spent a lot more time talking about this car. We're going to take it out for a little drive so you can see a little bit of it. My friend Aaron here has decided he's going to come up and bring his drone and everything, so we're going to hopefully get a little bit of good footage for you to look at. But this is just really, you know, chapter 2 really of the other day it was, you know, the boxing. This one's going to be the car and the other cars that I've got. So just really giving you a bit of an insight into our life in Spain. Again, the McLaren and the Mercedes don't really get used much. I'm 99.9% of the time I drive the Peugeot, which is hybrid. So I'm saving the planet on the Peugeot because that's electric. And then when you add the C63 and the McLaren into it, I'm probably about a full Mondeo as far as emissions are concerned. But like I say, we're going to take it out for a little drive, show you the car. It changes colour in the sun. Obviously the sun's just gone in as I'm talking to you, so it'll probably appear more red than orange, but it is volcano orange. It's had full PPF done by I think the previous owner or the owner before that. Boyd, his name is. You'll have to forgive me, I can't remember his PPF company, but he has his own PPF company, protection. He does all car wrapping and everything else. He's the guy that done all the stuff for me. Obviously that's there to protect the paintwork, because if you start getting stone chips on it, blending a volcano orange colour is going to be a bit difficult, to be fair. I've had it serviced in the UK before I brought it here. That was done in January. So obviously I've got till next January now before it needs servicing again. The warranty is for a year as well, so I've got about 9.5, 10 months left of that. The insurance, at the moment it's insured in the UK and taxed and MOT'd in the UK. It's a 2019 car, But as I say, it's done literally no mileage whatsoever, so it's as virtually as it come out of the factory. It's been very, very well looked after. The centre seats are surprisingly comfortable. They look uncomfortable. They even cut bits out of the car seat so that it saves weight, and that's what this whole thing is about. You have to have air conditioning as an optional extra. You have to have glove compartment as an optional extra. Luckily, this has got the air conditioning, but not the glove compartment. Even the floor mats, they're only half floor mats because it saves weight rather than a full mat. The windscreen, I think, is only 2/3 the actual width of a normal McLaren car. So overall, they save around 100 or 105 kilograms on the weight of a normal car. They do a convertible version of this, a Spider. That's about another 50 or 60 kilograms on top. So I wanted the coupe. To be fair, I know we live in Spain and really you should have a soft top, but I'll burn my head because my hair's going. So that's no good for me anyway. So I just went with the coupe. I went with this weird colour, which is quite rare. But like I say, we're going to pop out, have a little drive and show you a little bit of drone footage of the car as well. So we've had a little drive into the mountains in Murcia. There's a few gnats around, so I'll probably end up doing this in a minute. But yeah, we've taken the car out for the day. We've got a fair bit of footage, so hopefully there'll be a nice little video coming up. I've got Aaron, my friend, that's come up today to film it with us. He's got all the equipment because at the moment, sadly, I'm still in the early stages of the channel. But yeah, we've had a great day with it. Again, taking it out for about an hour's drive. This is about an hour and a quarter where we are from where I live. So it's a nice little area. The scenery here is amazing. We don't get any cars really pass here at all. A few hikers, a few people on bikes, but this is stunning. I used to come up here on a moped, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful place. Very peaceful. There's some amazing scenery. It's getting a little bit darker now, so the sun's setting, so we've lost a lot of the scenery. So maybe we'll do that on another video. I'm going to try and get Paul and his son-in-law out when they come out next, and see if we can come out and sort of maybe rent a couple of bikes and see if we can come out into the mountains. That would be a nice little video to show you some of the areas local to, well, it's about an hour or so away from where I am. I'm sort of more towards the centre of Murcia, and we're sort of on the outskirts of Murcia now. But it's a lovely area. It's stunning here. Temperature, we're now sort of coming up for the end of March. Temperature today was about 26, 27. It's going to start getting warmer now. We get to August time and it's about 45 degrees because we are in a very, very hot part of Spain. But as I say, I hope you've enjoyed the video today on the cars. Not sure how long it's going to be, so hopefully you've all stayed awake. But thanks very much for joining me, and I'm going to get Sophie on the show very, very soon, if she hasn't already been on the show by the time we release this one, because we've got a fair bit of editing to do. But thanks again for joining us, and see you soon.